Hello, guys. Today is the fifth episode of Vysh News Updates, and the news is 5G towers spreading coronavirus in Haryana, which is a fake news, and that has been spreading across the social media. And even now, Haryana police have issued a notification like if anybody spreads this kind of news unwarrantedly wherever social media, WhatsApp, Facebook, anywhere, they will be like against them. Some steps will be taken. So this even before coming into India, this kind of news was spreading outside India as well. Okay, in the USA also this kind of news clippings you can see, which was there happening few months back, and now in India the same thing is simply getting spread. So we'll try to discuss other things, not the news, because it's not worth the time. And how does a cell phone tower work? Okay, in just a very cartoon format, I'll show you so that you just understand. And what is the difference between 1G, 2G, 3G, 4G, and 5G, and in between what is this LTE and VoLTE? Okay, nothing in detail because too much technicalities is never useful for any exams. You just need to understand what is the basic difference. Okay. So before watching this episode, hope you have already seen all the previous episodes because all are getting excellent response. Whoever have seen it knows the value and content what is being provided there. So please see to it that you watch and subscribe to this channel. Now, linking 5G towers to COVID infection on social media can now land you in trouble once Haryana police. Okay, so news articles are there in various newspapers, and as I told, there's nothing much to discuss here. Okay, but we'll see whether what is the response from the government and what are the claims. Okay, so the claims that 5G trials or networks are causing coronavirus in India is baseless and false. Okay, this is told by the Ministry of Communication. And also the other thing, okay, even if you don't consider coronavirus, whether this 5G tower and testing and all can lead to maybe high radiation related diseases, skin diseases, cancer, this kind of things also are rumors which get spread. So you should know that even these claims are false. Okay, it is true that anything which is high radiation or frequency will cause you problem, but that is where the basic fundamental thing you have to understand, that the mobile towers emit non-ionizing radio frequency having very minuscule power and are incapable of causing any kind of damage to living cells including human beings. Okay, to understand that you should know what is this non-ionizing radio frequency. Okay, in your basic lower classes in school, you would have studied this kind of thing. Okay, electromagnetic spectrum, where you will see like gamma rays, x-rays, ultraviolet rays, then this white light is there, that is a visible spectrum, like violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, and red. So this one, and beyond this there is infrared. After red it will be infrared, then here a microwave is there, then radio waves are there. Okay, so this is the frequency and wavelength timeline, or sorry, not timeline, the line you can see. Okay, which is increasing and decreasing in a particular order, meaning gamma rays will have the highest frequency but it will have the lowest wavelength. Okay, it will be always the opposite way. Wherever it is high frequency, it will be low wavelength. So when we go, frequency is actually reducing leftwards. Okay, so here frequency is lesser, low frequency, but wavelength is higher. And if you see your cell phone tower, your cell phone, microwave, satellite, all these things are falling under this section, and whatever is beyond ultraviolet is called non-ionizing. Okay, but this one, right one, is all ionizing, and that is why we always tell like the ultraviolet radiations are bad for our skin, even from the electronic devices or from the solar system, sun. These kind of things are bad for our skin, but this section is not that harmful if it is maintained in a particular limit. Okay, if the frequency limit is maintained. So that is where people don't understand the difference. Now, Department of Telecom has prescribed norms for exposure limit for the radio frequency field, that is the base station emissions. Base station means the mobile towers. Okay, so they have set a norm which is actually 10 times more stringent or stricter than the safe limits prescribed by the International Commission on Non-Ionizing Radiation Protection, which was and recommended by the WHO. So WHO and this particular body, they have told a limit. So we have been using even 10 times more stricter than that. Okay, so it will not cause any damage. Now it has a well-structured process also. The telecom service providers, they strictly adhere to these norms. However, any citizen having any apprehension about any mobile tower emitting radio waves beyond the safe limit prescribed by the department, a request for EMF measurements or testing can be made on the Tarang Sanchar portal. So there's an extra information I'm giving you. This Tarang Sanchar portal was launched where you can see like what all towers are emitting, what all radiation. So anything, if you have any doubts, if like some strange cases are happening in and around that tower, you can go and log into this one and check the measurements of the electromagnetic frequencies. Okay, so that is one information. And even in the cancer.org website, if you see, at very high level, RF waves can heat up body tissues, but the levels of energy used by the cell phones and towers are much lower. Okay, and now basically seeing in picture format what is 1G, 2G, 3G and all. 1G is the normal analog signal phone, okay, where only phone calls are there. In the time of 2G, text message was also added to it. In time of 3G, browsing internet is allowed, and a video call, which can be like very like not very clear videos, but video call feature also was slowly coming into picture. Because after in between there are many things. So there's 2.5G, there is 3.5G. So that and all I will explain you in the upcoming slides. In 4G, the video call became better, and now everybody are using 4G. Okay, and within 4G you will have LTE and VoLTE, that also we'll see. And then 5G, where the future, okay, it's a complete thing where internet of things will come, artificial intelligence will be there, entire digital thing will be 20 to 30 times faster than the existing network. Okay, so that in detail now we'll see. This is in picture format just to make you understand the whole idea in a one slide. I gave you this picture. Okay, now the basic timeline, if you see, 1G was launched in the 1980s and worked on analog radio signals and supported only voice calls. 2G was launched in the 1990s, which uses digital radio signal. Okay, so analog changed to digital and supported both voice and data transmission with a bandwidth of 64 kbps. 3G was launched in the 2000s with a speed of 1 Mbps. Okay, now it changed from kbps to Mbps. Okay, and it has the ability to transmit telephone signal, including digitized voice, video calls, and conferencing. Then 4G was launched in 2009 with a peak period of 100 Mbps to 1 Gbps. Okay, 100 Mbps to 1 Gbps. The 5G which will come, it will go around like 20 Gbps to 100 Gbps. Okay, so it's like 5 times or 100 times you can tell. Okay, and it will enable 3D virtual reality. 5G work began later and implementation work is going on in various nations. So what is the latest update which all countries have already implemented it, that I will show at the very end of this video. Okay, in India, Paul Raj committee was set up in 2017-18. They gave a report also like how to adopt, okay, our adoption, whether India is ready or what all India should do to make it ready. That kind of things are going on. And later, one more committee is there, which was in news recently. You should go and find out which is that committee. Okay, they have told like, yes, India is ready and we are setting up towers already. Okay, so 5G will help to incorporate artificial intelligence in our daily lives. It will also facilitate the ecosystem for the Internet of Things. It will help in digital growth of country that will result in rise of GDP and employment generation. So it's in a very long term, a very huge type of digital growth is going to happen if 5G starts coming. Okay, so this is a picture of Internet of Things, if you can imagine. Okay, like if you have your phone, with that phone you can operate lot of devices. Okay, you can control your fridge, you can control your washing machine, you can control your oven. Okay, like suppose you wake up in the morning and you set something, then you can immediately turn the coffee machine on if it has internet on it. Then from there, when that is happening, meanwhile you can turn the geyser on, and then by the time that completes, something can be gone. So everything will be interconnected and you can do it from one point. Okay, wherever you are with your phone or smartwatch which has 5G, you can start operating devices. Okay, even if you are not at your home, you are far away, if there is a 5G connectivity, you can start controlling devices. Okay, so that is the power of 5G which will come soon. Okay, but this all had a very long and very detailed evaluation process. Okay, you should know, like when the call or ISD calls and all these things started, there used to be telephone exchanges where people had to manually switch calls when the call comes. Okay, when number comes, then they have to see which network is to be transmitted and it will go. Okay, later only it became automatic, from manual to automatic. Okay, so the land phone system, if you see, this kind of cables and wires were there, and if anything happens in a rainy season, people have to go and fix it. It's very, very complicated. Okay, the wired system, the complete wired system I'm telling, which used to exist in the past. Okay, then after that, when land phone came, okay, the proper land phone with the telephone hub, you know, like every locality or every area will have this kind of something called a telephone port or telephone hub. Okay, so this land phone call, when you dial from here, it will go to there, and from there it will go to something called the telephone exchange, and from telephone exchange it will go to the other hub, from where the destination where you are going to pick up the call, and then the call will be picked up. So it used to be happening like this, and this system is the telephone exchange which controls everything. Okay, now after that, the time of mobile phones came. So mobile phone, when it comes, it is like, people tell it's a wireless communication, but it is actually not truly wireless. Okay, so we'll understand the system. If you have like two characters here, okay, here Bala is there, here Lata is there, and they're trying to call each other. So here, this is actually wireless. Okay, for your call, okay, from your microphone when you talk, okay, it will go as a digital signal and it will go to this particular tower. Okay, from that tower, then it will go to something called switching center. Switching center is nothing but a telephone exchange. Okay, when you tell for land phone, we call it telephone exchange. For switching center, for mobiles, we call switching center. So there is data of everyone. Okay, database, like when you take a SIM card, you gave your validity proof and all those things. All the details of every person will be there in the switching center. And there are hundreds of thousands of switching center. Okay, like in hexagonal area wise, it is like each hexagonal area will have one switching center. So that and all is like technical, like how many and where all. But there are switching centers like that, and all these are connected through cables, optical fiber cable. So there is wireless part only till it reaches the tower. After that, everything is wired. Okay, and like this, many switching centers are there that I'll show you in the next slide. So this is wired, and then it will go to the switching center of where that destination phone is there, and then that tower will transmit the call or connect the call. Okay, so it's in 2 different cities, and these calls, this network, okay, this complete switching center network, sometimes it is called public switched telephone network, PSTN, or integrated service digital network. Okay, depending on the SIM card which you are using. So that and all, you don't have to know what is what, but at least when you hear the term next time PSTN or ISDN, you should know it is a network of the switching centers which will transmit the call from one place to another. Okay, and now tower also, when you see about towers, actually there are a lot of theory to study that I'll do a separate video. Okay, like there are different types of towers, but on towers commonly you will see something like this rectangular one and one round one like this. Okay, so these are antennas. Okay, so this antenna, this is called GSM antenna, and this is called microwave antenna. So both have its own purpose. The GSM antenna is the one which majorly connects the call, okay, from one tower to tower. The call connectivity actually happens here, but suppose you are not in the range. Okay, like one person is trying to call you and you moved out of the range of your home tower. Okay, you are in some other tower. So now towers need to connect with each other. Okay, not to just connect the call which is nearby. The towers which is there, okay, lot of towers will be. So these towers interconnectivity is done through this other one. Okay, this microwave antenna. So GSM antenna is for directly connecting the call, and microwave antenna is for towers which are far away to connect to each other. Okay, so that basic understanding is enough. Don't go too much deep into it. Okay. So now you have to learn 2 terms to understand 2G, 3G, 4G difference. Okay, one is called circuit switching and one is called packet switching. It is very simple. I'll tell you in a very simple way. Same, this call when it goes, okay, in 1G, the normal 1G call, it used to go like this. Okay, and it will be like, as I told, it will go in different routes depending on the faster route it will take. So here, if Bangalore to, suppose it's Mumbai, it can go from Bangalore to Pune to Mumbai, or Bangalore to some other city to Mumbai. So that route keeps changing. Okay, but this path, okay, this path switching is called circuit switching. Okay, just a basic definition, circuit switching. This is what was used in 1G. But after that, when 2G came, something called packet switching was introduced. Okay, so packet switching is, okay, before that, one more picture I'll show you. This is actually the optical fiber connectivity. Okay, you should know that each call, each video call which you do, it is happening because this much kilometers of lakhs of kilometers of cable, okay, optical physical cable is there below the oceans and across continents. That is because, that is the reason why which you are able to do all the calls smoothly. Okay, so recently one news also for Wi-Fi connectivity you would have seen from Chennai to Andaman Nicobar, we like I think 1,200 crore rupee project, something is being introduced, and like this cables will be set up. Okay, the Prime Minister inaugurated, and more news items are there. So I think in August 2020 only this news came. So like this, cables are set up across the globe, because of which mobile communication is possible. Okay, now we'll discuss about each thing which will help you understand packet switching and 2G and all. So basically, this is the evolution: 2G, 2.5G, 2.57G, so 75, 3G, 3.5, 3.7, and 4G. So if you see here, somewhere you will see like voice, data, GPRS, edge, UMTS, all these keywords I know that you have at least seen once, but you don't know the difference or meaning between this. Okay, so in very simple terms, we'll try to understand the difference. So 2G architecture, which started in 1990s, along with the voice network, which I told you, that is circuit switching, something called the packet switching started, where instead of this thing, there is routers. Okay, so where now the voice will go through this network and the data will go through this network. Okay, data means you are supposing like that Bala is sending a message called hello. Okay, he's sending hello. That hello will be broken into pieces, meaning HELLO, like that, something it is broken. Okay, and it will be like randomly, maybe H will go through this route, E will go through this route. So different route it will take. Okay, whichever is the fastest route. Okay, but their goal is to reach the destination. They need not travel together. Each packet takes its own route to destination router depending on the traffic on a particular path. Now each packet, okay, which goes, it has one thing, it has a code like destination ID and sequencing ID. Obviously destination ID means everybody has to reach the same destination. Sequencing ID means it is hello, HELLO, that is the sequence, that is the order in which it should reach. Okay, so destination ID will make sure that it reaches Lata's phone, and that sequencing ID will make sure that it will reach there as hello itself, not like OHLEL. It will not go rearranged, it will come as hello itself. So this is the basic functioning of 2G network. There is a voice network, there is a data network. One is through switching center, circuit switching, and and one is through packet switching. Okay, this is a very basic thing about 2G. Later in your maybe 90s, you used this kind of, like in your phone, it will come like G or maybe E or maybe H. Okay, you would have seen all this. You have all used this kind of phones. So what is the difference between them? So the first version for this network for data was called General Packet Radio Service. Okay, which I showed, right? Packet switching. That system, the first technology when it came, it was called GPRS, General Packet Radio Service. That is the G symbol which you get on your phone. Then GPRS enabled data speeds up to 64 kbps. Okay, and few people called GSM voice plus GPRS combination 2.5G. Okay, now some people, based on the speed, when speed increases, they tried to call it 2.5G because call is also there, data is also there at sufficient speed. Okay, then someone developed a faster data network. Okay, the next one, which is called enhanced data rates for GSM, that is the edge, that is the E symbol which you see, meaning E is faster than G. Okay, the technology, everything is same, voice plus packet switching data. Okay, then edge plus GSM was referred to 2.75G. Okay, in same phone you will see like E is there, and sometimes when you go out of range it will go G, but still some browsing will be allowed. Okay, so that combination was 2.75G and speed is up to 770 kbps. Okay, so later H will come, H and H plus will come. Okay, that is actually 3G, which I'll tell in the next slide. So that is actually basically called high speed packet access, which is 3G. Okay, and H plus will come, which is high speed downlink packet access. Okay, so this symbol, okay, I'm sure that you have seen this symbol, and this one if you see 3G and H plus. So here if you see, since the time 2000s, this is evolving. Okay, the voice network PST and ISDN remain the same. Okay, the same switching concept, the same thing is being used in 3G, 4G also. But here difference is they started a new data network. Now GPRS is gone, Edge is gone. Now Universal Mobile Telecommunication Service. Under this only this H and H plus will come. So new data thing came, but the call system is still the same. We are still using the old system only. Okay, so average downloading speed 300 kbps. Okay, for GSM phone. Now GSM CDMA is a thing which again I cannot explain in this video. I will make a separate video. Okay, what is GSM, where you put the SIM card, and CDMA where is the other one. Okay, even CDMA can put SIM card, but there is some differences. Okay, that in a different thing I'll tell. So two different data technology came. Okay, one is this UMTS and one is this EVDO for GSM phones and for CDMA phones. That is how data changed. And then this was replaced by 3.5G, as I told. Okay, which will have higher speeds. Only the speed difference is there. There's no other difference. So like that, technology kept evolving for data, but the call thing remained the same in the 3G system also. Okay. Then 4G came. 4G since 2010, and later VoLTE from Jio. Okay, VoLTE is like a technology, but Jio made exclusively for VoLTE. That is why Jio is faster and everybody are using it. So that I'll tell you. Now, this system, you know, voice network, data network. But what if you remove the voice network and send the voice also as data? Okay, so it will now go faster, because this one, you know, it will take a faster route because it's broken into small packets, and each thing will move faster. It will not hold the cable for a long time. Okay, parallelly, lot of calls, lot of data, everything can go together. So this is what is the idea of LTE or VoLTE. Okay, in picture format, this is the easiest way I could explain. But theoretically, if you take in 2G, 3G architecture, voice network was the core and data was an afterthought. Okay, in earlier system. In 4G, data took the center place. The voice network was removed, making way for a single evolved network built just for data. Okay, the one with routers, only a data one. This was called long-term evolution or LTE. In your phone, which you have right now, smartphone, I'm sure you will be seeing the LTE symbol or the VoLTE symbol. Okay, and here speed is up to 15 Mbps. Then over time it reached 60 Mbps also. Okay, that is where now 5G next will come, where it will have 100 Mbps. Okay, so sorry, 100 Gbps. So that is a different thing. So now voice is also treated as data, hence removing the need for a voice network. Okay, then basically, if Bala says hello on the phone, the voice is broken into packets and transmitted over routers as it happens with the WhatsApp messages. Since voice is carried over the data network, that is the LTE network, it is called voice over LTE network. Okay, so both are same only, but the naming convention you should see. LTE means the long-term evolution. We are now designing something like where voice and data will go together. So because voice is there, they call it voice over LTE. Basically, the difference is very minute. Okay, it's the same thing only. Now, this works very differently from the earlier systems. Okay, the voice network itself is gone now. There is just a data route through which data and voice is together going. So when voice goes, we call it voice over LTE. When you take a call, okay, it will be VoLTE. When you use data, it will be the other way. So this in 2G and 3G, because two different networks are used for voice and data, you cannot use one while using the other. Okay, you would have noticed like when in earlier times when you had that other 2G, 3G phone, suppose you take a hotspot and connect to your laptop. Okay, laptop, you're using internet. Suddenly somebody calls to your phone. You will see that your internet gets disconnected. On your laptop now internet is not working because the two different networks are there and they are not working together. Okay, but here a single network, calls also will go, data also will go parallelly. There will be no hindrance. Okay, in 5G it will be even faster, the same thing but in a faster way. Okay, so that is the thing about 4G and 5G. But Jio, what is the advantage? Jio has to maintain only one network. Jio, you should know, they were not in the market. They did not have any 2G phone. They did not have any 3G phone. They directly launched a 4G. Okay, 4G SIM. Even now, if you are a Jio customer, you go to your phone settings, and then in that phone settings, there will be like preferred, choose the network. Okay, preferred network or something. So in your phone, if it's a normal phone, whichever company, you will have option like select 2G, 3G, 4G. But whenever you take 2G or 3G, your phone itself will get out of range. Okay, you cannot use 2G or 3G because Jio SIM itself is a 4G SIM. They don't allow you 2G and 3G. Okay, but if you are having an Airtel SIM or Vodafone SIM, there you can use, if you can switch it to 2G, you can switch it to 3G, your internet will get slow. Okay, but your call will still go. But Jio, that doesn't happen. Okay, so you will think it's a disadvantage, but it's actually an advantage for them. They came into the market with complete 4G SIMs. So everybody started taking 4G. So the towers, everything which they had to set up, right? Everything was only related to 4G technology. They did not have to bother about supporting the old switching system or the circuit switching. They just had to set up the thing for the voice over LTE, direct one cable. Okay, one network. Okay, so the voice networks that others have to run are old, decades old, energy inefficient, and occupy a larger real estate footprint. This really shoots up their cost. Okay, so that is why Jio is able to give free calls and all these things, because they have the establishment cost very less compared to other people. Other people have to maintain the 2G and 3G. Okay, Nokia, who is doing this survey and all nowadays, they are telling there will be 50% cost saving if you shift from 2G, 3G to 4G. That is what actually Jio did. Jio directly came with 4G. Even though Airtel and Vodafone Idea have launched 4G services, they still operate their 2G, 3G. Why? Because they have huge subscriber base. In 2G, 3G SIM cards, they have huge subscriber base. They cannot simply cut off all the towers of 2G and 3G. Okay, but Jio is not like that. Jio's every customer is a 4G customer. Okay, and 56% of overall mobile subscribers in India are 2G, 3G, okay, which is all split across other people. Okay, when Jio offers only 4G, 2G, 3G subscribers split among Airtel, Vodafone Idea and BSNL. Okay, in fact, 3/4 of the Vodafone Idea subscriber base was still on 2G, 3G at the end of 2019. Okay, so this is a comic picture if you can understand. Okay, when Jio is pure 4G network and Airtel, Vodafone Idea want to move towards there, their old subscribers and customers are here. Who is holding them back? Okay, they cannot just like that stop all the towers. Okay, they have to, you would have seen Airtel's new advertisement and all, like we are setting up more 4G towers, we are enhancing 4G, because now they are trying to make everybody reach 4G. Okay, then maybe they can move to the pure 4G network. Okay, that is where Jio scored. Now just few advantages of 5G and we'll close the video. So the 5G networks will operate in a millimeter wave spectrum, meaning I told you millimeter means small wavelength but high frequency. Okay, so 30 to 300 gigahertz frequency they will use, which has an advantage of sending large amount of data at a very high speed. Because the frequency is so high, it experiences little interference from the surrounding signal. So the technology, everything will remain same as 4G, but the frequency level is different. So it will be faster. Okay, so it mainly works in 3 band. Okay, low, mid and high. So difference is, if you see, low has, in terms of coverage and speed, they have shown great promise. And data exchange, however, the maximum limit is limited to 100 Mbps. Okay, this is the speed. Okay, but it is very like long coverage is there, speed is there, everything is there. When you go to the next band, what will happen is, it offers higher speeds. Obviously, when the band increases, speeds will go on increase. Okay, but the coverage area and signals penetration, everything will get reduced. Okay, meaning more you go, like when you go to high band, it has the highest speed, but it has extremely limited coverage. Okay, so the coverage will keep reducing when the band increases, but the speed will keep increasing. Okay, so that you have to understand the basic difference of 5G. Now the difference between 4G and 5G, 5G as I told has a higher frequency, so lesser congestion. Then it is 10 to 20 times faster than 4G. Then it is the latency. Latency means how much time it takes to connect. Okay, so it is faster now. So latency time, it will be lesser for 5G. It will not make you wait too much. Okay, then 10 times the number of devices. As I told, Internet of Things. Many devices can be connected together in 5G at a time. Okay, then 3 times more efficient use of the antennas. Then 100 times less energy used comparable to 4G. Okay, so this again is controversial. There is many other things also. When 5G comes, the power consumption all comes higher actually, and that's a different story to discuss. Okay, but overall, this is the point. Then challenges to set up the 5G. The network speed of 5G would be a bit challenging for the devices to support. Like now the phones which is having 4G and all may not necessarily support 5G. Okay, maybe new set of 5G phones you have to buy. So there is a replacement cost. Everybody will have to upgrade to new phones. Okay, And then also the infrastructure, new 5G networks, new 5G towers, all these things has to be set up everywhere. Testing is going on. So a lot of expensive things has to be done to make it available to you. Okay, in picture format, this is the difference. If it is 1 Gbps here, it is 20 Gbps here. The latency which I told here, it is 10 millisecond, it is 1 millisecond. Then here 1 lakh devices can be connected, here 1 million device can be connected per square kilometer. Okay, then the data wise, also frequency wise. Okay, very basic, same thing which I told, but in number format. And again, the global updates, the final thing. 5G has been deployed in 50 cities in the United States. 5G has been deployed in 85 cities in South Korea. And then Japan and China has already started. And India, here also, we are working on it. Okay, so this is the global updates which is going on. Now, one question for you, which are the following are true about 5G services? Okay, it uses packet switching for the first time, unlike 3G and 4G, which uses circuit switching. It can provide much higher speeds with respect to current networks. It shall have higher latency compared to 4G. So try to answer this in comment section. This is part of our October current affairs also. So my students who are already studying from my test series, this video may be just like a revision for you, okay? Because all these things are detailedly taught with detailed explanation. Okay, everything is there in our test series. But this series is a different thing for UPSC and non-UPSC people who is wanting to learn things in the news for their general awareness. Okay, so I'll wind up this video. Thank you and have a nice day.